Welcome back, everyone, to Final Fantasy VII, and now we reach Sector 7.
I'm amazed.
So for me, because I wasn't in the previous two parts.
Don't worry, Shiroi. Here's a little recap. Basically, we're a bunch of rebels.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you go tonight.
Basically, Blondie here, along with Mr. T, may blow up a reactor.
It's basically Shiroi. It's basically Shiroi. Think Final Fantasy 13, but done better.
Basically, we're a group of rebels. Not so much, Joe. Allow me. We're a group of rebels, and basically, we live in a world where there's a big corporation using reactors to drain all the energy, all the life sources out of the planet. And these rebels are, blowing up those reactors in protest, because they don't want the corporation to, kill the Earth and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, aside from that, not much has gone on. So you can pretty much follow it from here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What's the question mark?
It's a save point. Basically, you go there and save through the menu. It's a bit useless, though, because apparently there's some kind of settings with the emulators that it erases the save you make there. I'm trying to fix that.
Can you use settings at least?
Yeah, that's why I keep going.
All right, in that case, it's...
No, I think it would be a problem when I have to change discs, but whatever. I'll try to resolve when I'll
these cutscenes look very different to the in-game stuff.
Yeah, because that's the era of PlayStation. That's our rendered background, basically.
Yeah, but
it was done in a similar way to things like Cave's Odyssey or Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, so basically, they wanted to create, Square has always been, even ever since the beginning, Final Fantasy has always been about trying to get the best graphics out of the console they're in. And since the PlayStation was a little too limited for what they had in mind, they used pre-rendered backgrounds to get over that.
I say that the resulting effect it's still nice.
No,
even
it is.
though
I love
the only problem is the fact that the sprites are really choppy, in how they form, but they got better over the years.
Final Fantasy IX looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
That I was going for.
And that game came out in 2000, 2001. So
yeah,
depending on where you came.
Well, 1999 in Japan, but yeah.
No. Final Fantasy IX came out.
Was managing to release one
Final
game per year.
Fantasy IX came out in 2000 in Japan and North America, and 2001 in Europe.
Oh, really? All right.
Anyway.
So yeah, just talking to some NPC before going to the bar because Barrett is, wants us to go to the bar, which is the HQ of the rebel movement.
Oh, I forgot one thing, Shiroi. Basically, Blondie here is a mercenary. He doesn't actually belong to the group of rebels. He was hired to help them, basically. He's a
and here we for the only time in the game, the theme of the character you're about to meet.
Papa! Don't worry, Dwebs. I'll spare you your girl voice.
So there's Tifa.
I'll do
Tifa.
I'll do Marlene. Shiroi.
Shiroi tells you.
You're playing Tifa.
Okay.
Go ahead. Oh,
Anyway.
Well, whatever. Shiroi, it's you. The problem is that
the problem is that they don't actually specify who is talking.
Yeah, it's try to pay attention on who.
Until they have their name upon, which is done by now.
I mean, it would be helpful if they have a picture.
There you have.
For the text box.
In Final Fantasy IX, it's much easier because they use speech balloons in comic book style, so it's always incredibly obvious who's speaking.
So essentially, what you're telling me is whoever the box
I'm
is
doing,
closest.
That
Whoever the box
there's
is
a reason
closest
I'm
to.
doing this.
Try to pay attention. Basically, sure. Try to pay attention to which character model is moving.
And they actually, yep. And now that we've given her name, she now will have her in the first speech box of each one, right there.
There you go.
Sorry, Cloud.
Yeah, Theo, for the future, please try to keep...
Yeah, I'm trying to, try to read it, but...
Oh no, am I Biggs or am I Wedge?
No, I'm Biggs, you're Wedge.
Oh, alright.
Sorry.
So, can I do Wedge if we do
What?
a Star
You're
Wars
telling me
game?
you're too good to
Sure.
do with me. Don't actually add it just because you were a soldier.
You know what this reminds me of?
Oh, Cloud! Tifa really knows how to cook.
Actually, I'll leave this for... Okay.
Anyway, let me tell you about something.
About what?
Tifa always lets me taste her cooking. And look at me now. I'm roly-poly. Don't know if I should be happy or sad, but is the good food and drinks that make this shop famous, or is it a bar?
Sadly, Biggs, sadly, Wedge is the fat one.
So I forgot. Am I Jesse as well? I'm confused now.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Dweebs. You will not voice her long enough.
I guess she kicks the bucket soon.
No, they don't kick the bucket. It's just that they stop pretty much appearing in the store altogether.
I vanish. Oh,
Get in here, fools. We're starting the meeting.
What? It was Barrett! Oh, this is gonna be real.
Yeah. Maybe I should just shut up.
Let's see. In this part of Final Fantasy, Barrett will be played by a woman.
Use text boxes properly. Something to drink?
Give me something
hard.
Just a minute, I'll make one for you.
Yeah, here's a can of iron.
Hey, guess who'll be the love interest? Well, the one who won't get axed anyway.
Actually, one thing that I like about it is that there's no clear, like, they imply that there might be there, but they never really go with it, even in Advent Children.
Yeah, that's another reason why I fucking hate Advent Children.
No, Advent Children didn't do it. Advent Children didn't do anything regarding that.
It basically boosted the shipping to a more higher level.
I mean, yeah, it's true that they live together, yes, but they're not together per se.
That doesn't always imply.
That's also because, the urban legend about the fact that Nomura is afraid of girls in general and doing romantic relationships in his works.
I wouldn't know, considering how much Kairi and Sora get shipped.
Could you imagine if, you're just a regular person just trying to play on the pinball machine?
But Kairi and Sora
then you end up going down on the lift into this place.
Oh no, I missed the jackpot!
Okay, Pedro, you were saying?
Never mind. Might as well.
There's something I want to ask you.
Yeah.
You're for Soldier. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm doing Barrett. I actually
9.
forgot.
I'm positive.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. You sound pretty sure.
If there was anyone from Soldier, you wouldn't be standing here now.
Don't go figure you're so bad just because you wasn't Soldier.
Is he become Blade from Blade Trinity now, talking in jive talk?
And breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, you're strong. Probably all them guys in Soldier are. But don't forget that your skinny ass is working for Avalanche now. I get no ideas about hanging on to Shinra. Shinra is the evil corporation, Shiroi.
Staying with Shinra? You asked me a question, and I answered it, that's all.
Pretty much.
I'm going upstairs. I want to talk about my money. I am getting paid after all.
Shucks, money. Money. Tifa, let him go. Looks like he still misses the Shinra.
Yeah, apparently in this early, both Barrett and Cloud are a bit of a dickish to each other.
It's all part of it, so.
I know.
I don't care about Avalanche or the planet for that matter.
I don't care about no one.
Oh yeah, here's the thing I need to, mention. Right now I'm reading, what the hell is going on to the news broadcasting stuff. Then I'll try to talk to Jesse, but for some reason the hit detection will go apeshit and make me, read again the news broadcast for a fucking 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't remember. Yeah, look at that. I'm standing right behind.
Tia, could you just cut this out?
Not a great editor's skill, and it's not bad of a big
It
deal.
doesn't take long anyway.
30 seconds that
what's
works.
What's that popping sound?
It's Barrett.
That's this guy trying to punch things.
Yeah, like I said, sadly the sound effects are a bit
Sounds like
crunched
he's
for
spazzing
some
and
reason.
Must have been for a lot of it.
Don't tell me I'm not even getting paid.
Sure. Well, what the hell? It's a verbal agreement. Now let me figure this out. Oh, stop it, Cloud. Did you hear me?
Straighten things up with everyone for me.
No, thank you. I'm going to go upstairs and play on the pinball machine.
Oh, fine then.
seriously, this guy's so far coming off to me as just like this generic guy who doesn't give a damn about anything.
Don't worry, he'll get better.
Don't worry, Libs. He'll develop a lot.
Have to start somewhere.
Let's just say his backstory kind of justifies it.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say he wasn't like this. Let's just say he used to be the opposite of this. Let's just say.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with me.
So you're really leaving?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I think I screw up the choice here for some reason. I didn't remember what I was supposed to do for the correct answer, but I think it's not a big deal. As of this commentating, I'm still not to the part when all these choices matter.
It was 7 years ago.
I cannot say.
Flashback.
Goody!
That's right. You see, Toriyama, flashbacks are your friend. Just saying.
It's a bit late for that, you know.
Look, well, do you remember?
You think that some guy who was in the company for so long would know at this point,
What happened
though?
to their mouths?
Trust me, Dwebs. If you were in our Final Fantasy 14
character
commentary, you will know
models are
exactly what I'm
freaking me
talking
out.
about.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, basically, Dwebs, this was back in the day when PS1 graphics were, yeah.
It was basically the best PlayStation graphics you had at the time were Crash Bandicoot, and that was pretty.
Just drawn mouths on them or something.
Pedro,
I think it was supposed to be even a callback to the earlier sprites, but had little to no mouth.
Yeah.
Right, they look like little puppets.
It was basically the time of the PlayStation.
Actually, Theo, I'm gonna go. No, actually, no. I think the sprites in Final Fantasy VI look incredibly
I was talking about the NES era.
Basically, guys, the way it was like is that it was like at the time the PlayStation didn't really have much RAM, and like with games like Crash Bandicoot, even while Crash Bandicoot looks absolutely gorgeous for a PlayStation game, you have to remember how linear that game was. Final Fantasy games tend to be rather, how shall we say,
a lot complex.
Final Fantasy games are complex, and like, well, making mouth movements at the time were an absolute pain. I mean, heck, I don't think we even really got mouth movements that right until like say near the end of the PlayStation 2.
Jova, sorry to interrupt you. Can I just say one thing? Back when he was a kid, Cloud had a ponytail. Why the fuck didn't it catch? It was a fucking awesome. It was a fucking awesome haircut.
Sephiroth.
Well, and there's also the fact. Okay, there's also the fact, Dwebs, that when this game was made, Square still wasn't the the multi-million-dollar corporation that they were. I mean, yeah, they were kind of famous and shit, but
it's so ironic,
especially in Japan. But it wasn't until this game that they really went from being that middle company from like really huge, like
basically Dibs in a way. This was basically.
It's funny you mentioned that, Pedro, because maybe Dibs doesn't know, but the first Final Fantasy game was supposed to be Squaresoft's last game.
It was supposed to be the last because almost every single game they made was flop after flop. So they made Final Fantasy because it'd be the last, but well, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's.
You know what's funny?
And if this particular game also flopped, it would also be the last because they took a lot of risks making this game.
And also, what's funny is that
apparently history is repeating itself with Final Fantasy 15, hoping it's delivering.
I know if Final Fantasy 15 doesn't deliver, Square may be going.
It sounds like Square Enix is not learning from its mistakes.
I know.
Final Fantasy 15. If Final Fantasy 15 ends up not living to expectations, Final Fantasy will die right there and there.
You know what else is ironic is that. You know what else is ironic is that they made Brave Fencer Musashi because of this, because they realized that at the time they were only really good with these sort of turn-based RPGs, so they made Brave Fencer Musashi as sort of a different platform. And you know what? That actually worked. And then they sort of butt-fucked it with the sequel, not too badly. The problem is that they never...
Wait, there was a sequel?
Yes, there was a sequel on the PS2. It was okay. It was good. Granted, not as good as the first, but it was still worthwhile. But then they decided for some reason to stop continuing it, even though it was still popular enough. And now look at them. They're down to their last knees on Final Fantasy.
What you're saying is Square Enix is down the crapper just because they haven't made Brave Fencer Musashi.
No. What I'm saying is that
if only it were that simple.
No, Dwidge, what I'm saying is that
he's acting a lot like Capcom or Nintendo in terms of having tons and tons of franchises, but not the strength and the money to keep every single one of them updated.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, well, That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, like Capcom, at the time when they had a lot of money, they spit in the faces of a lot of their old franchises. Yet now they're in a predicament where it would probably be great to have a lot of those franchises.
Oh yeah, by the way, Cloud is still a dick because he wants money.
Back to the plot. Basically, Shiroi, Cloud here. When I was a kid, he always wanted to be in Soldier, which is basically the big military force of Shinra.
And he looked up to this guy called...
Just like in Final Fantasy XIV, we also have a main character who's an ex-soldier.
And he also...
Except Cloud is already more interesting than Lightning was immediately, as you can see, Shiroi. And trust me, Dwebs, if you've seen what we've seen in Final Fantasy XIV so far, you'd know. But anyway...
Also a small tidbit, he also looks up to this soldier called the Great Sephiroth. Sephiroth.
Yeah, it's a bit too early for that, Pedro.
I know, but
apparently the concept of dreaming was Cloud sitting in a bit of, rust.
Wouldn't it just be a shame if somebody who went to play pinball accidentally activated the secret room?
Yeah, we said that before.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm going.
So yeah, apparently Tifa is joining us with the party.
Why not? She can kick ass.
Basically, she's the monk brawler. The always classic monk that can with just his or her bare hands punch even metal and stone things.
I like Tifa. She's one of those examples that a woman can be busty and still kick ass.
Still cannot suplex a train.
I find Aerith to be a more interesting character, but yeah, Tifa's alright.
Oh yeah, we can talk over this because I'm just showing the material tutorial for the audience, so...
Yeah, let's access the menu, but basically, we're already there.
Basically, it's just how magic works and how it affects both the combat and your stats. Basically, materia is what it makes you do magic, but having that equipped lowers some of your offensive stats like HP and strength. So you want to balance things out or having your mage to be on the rear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you're in this menu. Select
blah, 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 stuff like that.
Actually, Dwebs, this tutorial is being told by Cloud, so Joba.
Yeah, basically it's Cloud telling Barrett what to do.
Now, look at my weapon here. Each weapon and armor has slots in it.
Oh, well, one thing that I would also like to say, Mars Gold pointed out this in a review. Notice how the tutorial is weaved into the story, because it's Cloud. Barrett doesn't know how to use materia, and so Cloud is teaching him.
Agreed. I always find the best.
So there's a context to it. Final Fantasy VIII also kind of did this, but Final Fantasy XIV, no. We just have a boring one. Do you want a boring text tutorial? But then again, it wouldn't be Final Fantasy XIV without boring text to read.
You haven't guessed at this point, audience. We're not particularly fond of Final Fantasy XIII.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, then again, a lot of games have.
I know.
Just text.
Well, agreed, but Final Fantasy XIII really does it to a maximum.
Trust me, Dwebs.
So by that logic, you're saying quite a lot of good games suck because
they have text.
Oh no, I gotta read text through forever.
Dwebs. You should see it to believe it. Okay, Final Fantasy XIII is its own special case. Trust me.
Dwebs, imagine if you went to see a movie.
Yeah.
And the guy at the counter who gave you a ticket told you, okay, this movie is really confusing. Here, before you go in, read this, and he gives you like a 100-page book. And it's the only way you can possibly understand what the fuck is going on in the movie. That's what Final Fantasy XIII is. Like, the only way you can the cutscenes don't explain anything. You have to go back and read an encyclopedia, and that's not good storytelling. I'm sorry. I know you want to be all the, I know you're trying to be apologetic, but trust me, there's no way.
Yeah, normally when you equip magic, or in this case materia, your magic powers will get stronger.
Yeah, you can see the stats in the lower part that
but your physical strength.
Also, it's materials are connected to AP in terms that what you gain at the end of the battles. APs are need for the material to grow. The more the material grows, the more powerful magic you can use. There are even different types of material, like the yellow ones that makes you use a common, the orange one that make you use a summon, and the blue ones that make you boost another materia, and the purple one which make you passive abilities.
I see.
Yeah, and apparently Barrett is not.
Shit, what's
really...
this? Today's a chat crap. I'm clueless. Well, you know the material then.
Basically, an excuse for you to use the menu.
Access the menu and select materia to equip materia.
So yeah,
Oh, I got a message from the weapon shop man upstairs. He has something he wants to give you. Don't forget.
Yeah, and it's a useless item, so I never bothered with this particular.
I just did that for well, to be honest,
cool.
It gives you even an all material.
Wow, Cloud can the characters can shrink, and Cloud can fit them in his pocket.
Yeah, it's a classic JRPG logic.
It's still better than the merry-go-round running circle thing they did in Final Fantasy VIII.
Final Fantasy VIII sounds interesting.
Wait, I don't really.
Hey, wait a minute.
Did they?
You can't just walk out here.
Oh wait, they did. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a woman.
I can't.
That's
a woman.
Yeah.
Really?
Teo, just so I can, just out of curiosity, you're talking about how in Final Fantasy VIII, in the world map, it's just Squall, but in towns and dungeons and stuff like that, you actually see your party members behind you and stuff like that.
Oh, that is a woman.
Yeah, I'm talking more specifically about the fact that your companions are right behind you and they follow every single movement you do, even if you do stupid ones.
It's interesting because in Inokuni it's the opposite. You only see Oliver in towns and dungeons, but in the world map you see all the party.
Yeah, but at least there they follow you in a somehow decent way. Oh yeah, this room is full of tutorials, but I'll skip basically all of those for your
Oh my god, the
convenience.
bouncing question mark.
Still better than the bouncing barrel.
Yeah, I'm skipping all of these for your safety.
You will never let that go, will you?
What?
Basically, if you want tutorials and
Received all materia. That was materia. Next, take this treasure chest. Receive
not
never.
really.
Okay.
So basically, the material just got, which is the old material, permits to cast a magic material to all the targets. It usually targets. So if I do that to the cure materia, it basically targets all the party, which is basically fundamental for the first part of the game.
Exactly. In most, in most Final Fantasy games, you usually get to use the R1 button to, immediately select all, or in the case of SNES, just keep selecting for the various options until suddenly there's a certain option. Final Fantasy IX had one thing that I really liked, where they added the menu where you can either pick all or, yeah, in here you have to have an all material to cast a spell on every single enemy in front of you.
It's a bit of a bummer because it have the quantity of time that you can use for casting the spell. No, the amount of time is determined by the level of materia. If it's level 1, you can cast on all
treasure
targets.
chest.
If you can target on all targets on only one time.
Yeah, I can see why they did it, because if you considering the materia system involved, I mean, if they allowed us to do all cast spells on everyone like the old games, it would kind of break the game.
Yeah, I know. Well, if they could have balanced somehow, like having, if you cast on all targets, it does less damage than casting on one target, it would make sense.
Anyway, let's meet the weapon shop man.
No, this is just the kid.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, this is the end. Where was the
This is a slum, so don't be against
I think it was the guy who gave us the all materia.
Oh, yeah, alright.
So it wasn't that much of a useless
guy,
item.
huh? You better sleep when you can. You better save when you can. That's the gift of being tough. Remember that, old dude.
It's been 2 years since I've played the game, so...
Is he like in his early 20s?
Technically, I think it's 19 years old, I think.
In here, he's 19 because we know that because in Advent Children he's 21, which is in that movie takes place 2 years after the game.
I think at the moment the older party member is Barrett.
Yeah.
Oh, another slow day. If this keeps up, the store's going under. Can't really sell any good medicine in a slum like this.
Gee, I wonder who we'll ever find to help restock him.
Happening every day. You a customer? Yes, welcome. We sell, we buy.
But of course,
I'm just buying. I think. No.
I get the feeling. I get the feeling that this guy doesn't get many customers.
No, as long as you sell materials with that gross high price. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm feeling the recession.
I apologize. I just fucked up a bit with the menu. I'm just reassigning materials. Yeah, I bought an extra lightning material because early enemies you encounter are mostly machines, which means lightning damage is more effective to them.
Indeed.
But of course.
Anyway, just now...
Listen to that, barely better than SNES quality.
No.
I still think the music in this game is fucking awesome.
It is.
My problem isn't the tunes, it's the sound quality.
It's a product of its time.
I know.
Yeah, at least I have to say though, the music, unlike the graphics,
Pardon me for a moment.
I think the music aged well. I think.
Oh, I still listen to this music, to this soundtrack all the time. I love it.
Oh, me too. Well, with that, we're just preparing to go for the mission, which will happen next part.
Cloud didn't know what platform he wanted to go on.
Bye.
We'll see you then.
See you then.